AI is making the software development process better and easier for everyone. But it's actually going a bit beyond that. It's being upended by the folks here, the designers, the product owners who are committing hundreds of thousands of lines of code into my code base. And as an engineer, I'm totally cool with it. That's because instead of the traditional weeks-long process of going from design to dev to test into user testing, product owners, designers, they're building prototypes that take hours to build. They're sharing it with stakeholders, sharing it with users, getting feedback, soaking up big risks, and by the time it gets to me, I only have to build it once. And this has been transformative for the organizations that we've seen adopting this practice. Hi, I'm Justin Meyer, and for the last year, I've been leading Bitovi's AI enablement process and practice. This talk is about how teams are adopting AI into their workflow. And teams go through a journey, right? It first starts with an intrepid, courageous product owner, designer, decides they want to learn how to clone a code base, pull out Claude code, vibe code a prototype, push that to GitHub. But what they soon need to realize is they need to still work with engineers, with designers to fully flesh out that feature. And this is where teams start to develop into what we call local agent orchestrators. These are teams where everybody knows how to use their agent. They're developing skills and practices to move work between sources of truth, things like GitHub, Jira, and Figma. And eventually these teams realize there's some well-worn paths. There's things that they've done over and over again, and they're like, why do I have to run this on my local computer with my local agent? Can't I just click a button and move this to the cloud? And these are what we call cloud agent orchestrating teams, where the agent can just take the next step for the humans, and they can just see the results and decide what to do after that. For each of these agentic phases, we're going to talk about what it looks like, the problems that you might encounter, and how to solve those problems. And as a backdrop to this, we're going to use this Hello World app, adding a task feature to a case management system. One thing to point out is this app, all of the skills, approach, techniques in it, they are all available open source, and I'll share a QR code at the end of this. So if you want to try to set up the stuff I'm showing today, you'll be able to use it. So let's just jump right in. What does it look like? So as I mentioned, product owner wants to start vibe coding this task management feature. They pull out Claude code, and what do they need to be successful? Now, as I said already, I'm an engineer. I'm not going to be able to help people with inspired design, hopefully, and I'm sure you got that already at a lot of other talks. But these other problems I will address. The first and most important is that AI can actually build what you want it to build. If you've ever built on a complex code base, you'll know that the agent has to figure out a whole lot to do. It's got to build the front-end architecture, build the service or decide and examine the service architecture. Good luck if you're on a sprawling microservice ecosystem. It's got to figure out how to make data changes, and then it's got to build it. And every step here is a chance where things can go wrong, and if you're not super technical, you might not get the results that you want. So the first thing we put in place is a mocking layer with something called mock service worker. This allows the agent to just focus on building the front end. It doesn't have to build all of the other and figure out all of the other stuff and how to make that change. And what this means, one, the job gets done much faster, and it's much more likely to be successful, while the other, without mocks, it's still figuring stuff out. The next problem to figure out is consistency. Eagle-eyed observers, again, engineer, I wouldn't be able to notice the difference between the assigned to font and created by font, but I'm sure everyone here did. Agents make mistakes. You want to make sure that they're using consistent design typography, things like that. Another consistency problem is, if you notice, it can be data model consistency. You can see here, it's a full name field, but the drop-down is just the first name. When you're getting your agent to build, you want to make sure to keep your data model consistent. So getting in some core agentic skills in place to support your vibe coding, your prototyping is really important. For those who don't already know, a skill is just a file that tells the agent how to behave in a particular circumstance. The 3 core skills we find is a brand skill, so that when an agent goes to build something new, like a new component, it's going to follow the colors, the padding, the spacing, those sorts of things. The next is a component skill to make sure that the agent is going to build the component, or when it's not going to rebuild the component that it's already built. That's, for me, one of the most surprising things. It'll like build a new input even though there already is one in the code base. And finally, a data model skill, especially if you're using mocks to keep your data model consistent and well organized as it's building out that prototype. The next need. For those who aren't as technical, you don't want to use that very specific technical language to tell the agent to do what you want it to do. Designers, product owners, they want to communicate visually. Now, the good thing is Figma Make Local was released. The bad thing is it happened after I made my slides and after I built an open source tool that does something similar. So this is Convey. It works similar to Figma Make Local. But the larger point I want to make is that these tools that allow a designer to work how they feel like they always work, drag, drop, move things around, incredibly useful. It's like a gateway drug to get your designers, your product owners to feel comfortable making changes in the code base. So they can just say add a due date field, and they don't have to say in this component, or they can just drag something from their design system right into the page, commit it to the agent, watch the agent make those changes, and get what they expect. The 4th need, and the most important for upending your process, is the ability to share your code easily. Now, if you work for a bigger organization, you might already have something called a branch build or a PR build. It's where if you push a branch, it can spin up a whole new environment to show what your code is doing, what your just vibe code is doing, so you can share with other people. But if you don't have that already, it does take a lot of complex DevOps infrastructure to build. But if you don't have it, you might actually be closer to having it than you might expect. If you push a branch to GitHub, there's this code button, and if you click plus, if you've got your app configured the right way, this will actually launch an environment in the cloud. It'll show VS Code, but you can ignore that because it'll actually launch your app, your site. You can click this button here, and this will give you a shareable link that you can share either completely with everybody or just within your GitHub organization. So this makes it very easy to like vibe code something, click a button, share it with others, get that feedback, and quickly iterate. Oh, yeah, here's the link. And there's our awesome vibe-coded task list. So now, let's say it's a product owner, has vibe-coded something. They still need to work with people. They need to get the designs finalized. They need to get the engineer, like an engineer, to look at the code and make sure it's going to be successful. And I'm going to show examples of how you can make that work with an agentic workflow between all these different types of people. So a designer will need to do the design in Figma. Then the product owner or the team will need to do a final review, make sure it's consistent, everything is going to work, like the feature makes sense. And then they'll need to build the stories in Jira to be able to hand that off to a developer to do the implementation. So let's see what this looks like in practice. Starts with a shell story. So product owner vibe coded a prototype, throws it in a Jira ticket and says, hey, designer, can you go take a look at this? Can you finalize the design for this? The designer needs to get that into Figma so they can play with it. We've built skills on top of Figma's MCP skills that can do this. They change it a little bit. They will start by building all of the low-level components and the icons and build those component sets out. And the one little change that we add is it will do a diff, a visual diff between what it builds in Figma and what it builds in code, so that it can tell the agent, hey, there's a slight mistake here, go back and fix this. If you notice, the checkbox has a thicker outline in React than it does in Figma, or the accordion got the toggle things the wrong way. So once it makes all the corrections to the components, it starts building up components built of other components, and then it will actually build the whole page that it sees running. And this is all validated, again, against Storybook or loading the app with Playwright. So now the designer has everything implemented how a designer would want. In Figma, it does like build the component sets and variants the way you would probably expect. I'm going to talk about a little, though, about how this works, like under the hood, so people can understand it. You need your agent to ultimately look at the code base, understand, hey, I've got a button here, and send information off to Figma's MCP so it can rebuild it. What it does is uses this use Figma tool call and passes it essentially JavaScript code, the same code that a Figma plugin writes, to rebuild button so that it looks like the button in code. And as I said before, Figma has skills that can do this, but they expected people to enhance those skills. So we have a React to Figma skill, which really just layers in that diffing using Storybook inside to make it just a little tiny bit more accurate. But when you're potentially vibe coding hundreds of components, that little accuracy can save you a lot of time. OK, so designers made it, improved it. They love what it looks like. Let's do a review, one last review before we go off to implementation. So here, we've built a skill that if you copy your link to your designs or the individual frames and put that into a Jira ticket, you can then run a local skill that will read the Jira ticket, read all the Figma files, analyze them, look for mistakes. So it's here, it's generate behavior questions. And when I run that, it'll look at the Figma designs, analyze them for consistency problems, things that it don't know if it should be in scope, out of scope compared to the code base, anything that it's actually surprisingly insightful questions, and it'll ask you, where do you want to post these? I'm going to post them back to Figma as questions. And for example, here it noticed that the create page had a due date field, but the details page did not. And here a designer can be like, oh yeah, I should add that field, or maybe it's under specified behavior, and the designer will make that, will answer the comment so that later, when there's an implementation, it'll get the implementation correct. One important thing when you're designing human agentic workflows, that word combination sounds weird, but when you're designing agentic workflows for humans, is where do you put your context? And in this case, because we see often Figma as a source of truth, we decided to put that context for those questions and answers all in Figma instead of something like Jira. So you really want to take care of where people are putting information so that your agents can go get it. Next, you need to build a story. Same process over again. You just paste a link to that story. The skill will load a story template, read all the Figma files, the notes, the comments, and write that story out in Jira, giving the product owner a huge head start on writing it. And they can just review it. And critically here, it has links to Figma, so that when you go to implementation, an agent will know how to actually implement this feature. So there's a million things that could be said about getting a correct implementation. I'm going to focus on just the two most important ones surrounding Figma. First is Figma's MCP. You should be using get design context because it will give you a representation of the styles in HTML of what it sees inside of Figma. But next is Code Connect. If you make your Code Connect allows you to say, for this Figma component, here's the React code that matches it. And for these variants, here's how you call these React or Angular, it doesn't matter the framework. Here's how you instantiate them. When Code Connect, in our experience, might triple the likelihood that you're going to one-shot a Figma design. So setting up Code Connect, absolutely essential in our experience for getting an agent to properly implement from Figma. OK, so now the team working together smoothly. They've developed their skills, their approaches to working together, and they start saying, well, why do we have to run this locally every time? Can we just have the cloud do this? Can we just click a button and have it do a design review? And the answer, thankfully, is yes, except for one part. There's some technical limitations getting a cloud agent to build a design in Figma that hopefully will be resolved soon. Ping me about it if you want more information on why and how. But we can show what this looks like. We did this just with Jira, Figma, and GitHub. We just made an automation where if you just do click a button, review design in Figma. I think we did this in a really clever way. We just post an issue to GitHub and assign it to Cloud Copilot. And we tell it to run the exact same skills that the team was running locally. So this will run Cloud Copilot and just post those skills just like we saw before. So this makes it very easy for your team to take whatever agents it's working on or working for them and get them up into the cloud, so you just have to click a button to run it. So I'm going to show the same thing with writing a user story. Again, just all the automation has to do, post to GitHub and assign that as a Jira ticket and post that, assign it to GitHub Copilot. And then your story will be written. Now, for implementation, we did it a little bit different. And I really like this idea, is embedding these agents into the workflow. So instead of doing the dropdown and running as an automation, I just put the ticket to in progress. And instead of assigning it to a human, you assign it to this Bitovi AI agent. And it will it'll create that same ticket in GitHub, but now it'll run the implementation. So we can see that implementing right away. And this will, like before, push a branch. And you can launch that same branch in a code space. And you can get one final review of this feature before it finally gets moved to prod, assuming the code was written correctly. So that's it. You can almost drive an end-to-end workflow just through automations in the cloud. And we have this final task feature. So this is the journey that we see teams going through again. Folks start vibe coding. There's problems to solve there. Then everybody learns how to build skills. They develop those skills till they're working well enough that they're like, let's just have the agent do this in the cloud and just click through and see the results. And they get to these cloud agent orchestration teams. Everything that I just showed, if you want to set it yourself, this QR code has a document for all the extra MCPs, how to set it up in AWS, and how to set up in Jira to get those automations to run. It also has a link if you want to connect with me, and I would love to hear about your AI journey, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And thank you for going through this talk with me.